What was the moment where you realized? Because I think that's also a big jump. Not everyone. It's not that obvious. Specifically, when you were doing this, that you're like, oh, I need to go to San Francisco. So how did that mature in you guys' journey basically, and when was the moment that you decide to go?
I think that like in our, I know, in our mind, like we always we want to be a global company, and we wanted like in that moment we wanted like we saw like there was no Latin American company who had a product that was used by the best companies in the world globally, or users, consumers, whatever. We had like Mercado Libre or Despegar, but those were like regional companies, you know. There was in the moment, remember in 2013, consumer, there was no Mark Zuckerberg, there was no Ivan Spiegel or Jack Dorsey's of Latin America. Like there were no like,
They're still pretty rare today.
yeah, exactly.
Like they exist, but it's still pretty rare.
Well, but like I remember before Flickr, I had like a clothing company, like a surf clothing company, like a very small company, yeah. But when we began with that company, we wanted to, the goal was to sponsor the World Surf League, you know. Like the dreams were always huge, you know. We were like 19 or 18.
I love it.
I think
It's good. You gotta be. You think that? Why do you think that you've always operated that way?
I think that I was very lucky that my family they created like a medical devices company, which is like a very hard industry to get in, and they always like this comes from my grandfather, I believe. Like he was a doctor, right? And even if he was from Cordoba, he went to Paris and discussed with the best doctors one to one. He never thought that he was less of anyone that was sitting in that table, right? And this guy invested like prosthesis for like getting your dick hard. I actually like a silicone prosthesis, prosthetics, and he invented that. But he didn't know how to sell it, so he told two of his sons, like two or three, what did he figure out a way of like he was like a doctor, a scientist more like not a doctor, but like he didn't know how to sell. So he told his sons like go and sell. But they never thought about selling only in Argentina, you know, like they began going to Brazil, to Chile, to Mexico, to Germany, you know.
Yeah. Well, half of the world population has a penis.
Yeah.
No, not all of them. Not all penises don't work, but it's still a pretty large market.
Exactly. So I know that it was my like, and I was born in that like, I never thought that I couldn't compete. I thought like, okay, if these guys did it, like selling penis prosthetics, like I can do it. You know, for me, like I didn't have to convince myself or anything. I was like, I think that I was lucky enough.
Okay, you were raised already to like operate at that level. Yes. How far along did you go with the surf clothing company?
I had two. Like it was like a clothing company. I had like the first one. For me, it was like amazing because I was able to pay for all my trips, surfing trips or ski trips, by doing that. We sponsored some small things, and then one of my co-founders went to live to Barcelona, and I was like, okay. And then I had another co-founder, started another one, same thing, but for me it was amazing. Like I could do whatever I want when I was 19 or 20s because my parents didn't give me the money to travel, you know, like.
Yeah, that's great.